crisis. Mr. Speaker, I also lost a cousin. He just graduated from a university in India. He studied medicine, came back home. For those who don't know, my grandfather, maternal, was born in JOS. And my uncle served as the vice chairman of JOS, not local government. For those of you who are from JOS, you know Sanimudi. Sanimudi is my uncle. Mr. Speaker, I lost a cousin. It is sad. And it is worrisome. If not because my grandfather maternally relocated to Kano, I would have been in JOS. I would have been a victim of this very cruel killing. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, we are all human. You should remember that we are all children of Adam and Eve. Okay, we need to appreciate the fact that Quran stated, I'm a Muslim, that God said, I created you, human being, in different tribes and color, just to appreciate and recognize yourself. And the best among you is he who fears God much. Mr. Speaker, if today, after 100 years or 104 years, we are still talking about Birom, Fulani, Hausaman, a southern away and Ozara, I don't know when this country, after a century, when this country will reach the much acclaimed promised land we are talking about. When the white man came, they said the caliphate, they said the south, after 10, 15 years, they said southern and northern protectorate. Today, after northern region, southern region, midwestern region, we are subdivided into states from 12 to 19, from 19 to 21, now to 36. And until today, we are yet to appreciate that we are human beings. Those who served in the 60s, many of them have passed away. Today is our generation. And until today, this generation is talking about killings. This generation is still talking about sentiment. This generation is still talking about religious and ethnic crisis. Mr. Speaker, this is my 7th year in this National Assembly. I vividly recalled when we came, the first debate we had was, I think, from Bimbo Daramola of Ekiti State, about killings in Nigeria. That very time was Boko Haram. Today, it is whatever name, Fulani, headsmen, unknown gunmen, farmers, or whatever name you will give it, Mr. Speaker. It is sad, Mr. Speaker, to forget about where we come from, the party we came under. We are all human beings. Life is one. The way we are talking of these 100 or 150 drums, and the other 50 or more than 50 who were killed on the road, which, Mr. Speaker, someone was killed from your constituency, a party chairman. He's not a Muslim. Is he? He's not a House of Fulani. Was he? His only offense was because maybe he was driving with APC, thought the pill now, it is APC. So the whole issue is not about religion. It's not about ethnicity. It's not even about headsmen in some cases. It's not even political. We need to ask ourselves the mindset of our people. be it Birom, be it Fulani, whatever nomenclature will give it, it's like we are inhuman. We are inhuman in our attitude. So, Mr. Speaker, take it or leave it, we have what we call system failure in Nigeria. Mr. Speaker, when we talk of this system failure, people look at it from the perspective of APC government. It's not about APC government. We do apologies to those who are in power today. Mr. Speaker, someone said we lost a senator in 2012 in the same location, the same local government. Was it APC in 2012, 14? It was not with APC. When you look at JOS crisis, it started in 2001. In 2001, it was President Olusegun Obasanjo. Mr. Speaker, let me cite an instance to you. Honorable colleagues, today, if not because of the intervention of God, I was having a chat with Sabo Garba when the crisis started. He told me that he lived in JOS before. He showed me an injury in his head. He had a house. He was lynched in JOS. The house was demolished. He stayed in hospital for 4 days, unconscious. Had to be taken to Germany. That was the crisis of 2001. So had it been Sabo Garba lost his life in the crisis of 2001, would not be opportune to know Sabo Garba today. Look at Dr. Sana out here sitting with us. He also lived in JOS. He has a house in JOS. He was born in JOS. His house was demolished in JOS. You know Yusuf Garba Ali. For those of you, many of you who come under APP, they know Yusuf Garba Ali. They are chairman, the former chairman of APP. He was born in JOS. How old is Yusuf Ali today? He's over 85. But many of his family were relocated back to Kano because of the crisis. So we have to tell ourselves the bitterest truth. To keep aside that I'm a Christian, I'm a Muslim, I'm Birom, I'm a Fulani, I'm Angas, I'm Igala. We have problem in Nigeria, and the problem is that of system failure. Thanks, Nena. She cited instance to what happened in Rwanda. Upon all the crisis and the killing in Rwanda, Rwanda today is one of the best economy in Africa. We should ask ourselves what happened in Rwanda after all the killing. For those of you who watched that Hotel Rwanda and sometime in April, you know that what is happening today in Nigeria is not up to 50% of what happened in Rwanda. Because if you are a Tutsi and married to a Hutu, they will ask you to kill your wife in the presence of your children. But today, after just less than 20 years because of committed leadership, just last 3 days, they launched their Volkswagen manufacturing plant in Kigali. And go and see the infrastructures in Kigali and the entire Rwanda today. And if you ask a Kigali or a Tutsi man today, who are you? He wouldn't identify himself as Tutsi or Kigali. It's even a crime in Rwanda today to say I'm a Tutsi or Kigali or Hutu. I'll say I'm Rwandan. How did they reach there? Because of true and reconciliatory committee. Mr. Speaker, after all this crisis for over 25 years, every time after a crisis, the next thing we do is just to send a battalion of army or police to quench the crisis. Immediately they quench the crisis, everybody will go back and sit at the comfort of his office without asking what is the root cause of this crisis. How are we going to address it? How are we going to stop it? Mr. Speaker, this issue of JOS, patch of North, it started early June, even before that of 23rd. But because of poor intelligence gathering or poor utilization of intelligence, nobody cares to handle the situation until it reaches that very level. Now today we are talking of sending arms of our battalions of army. Immediately we cause the situation, we'll forget it again. So, Mr. Speaker, we need two things. We need to identify the root cause of this crisis. After identifying who are involved, and whoever is involved, let's bring them to book. It's not about the one that just happened in June. The crisis from 2001. In 2001, we called it ethno-religious crisis in JOS. It wasn't farmers' headsman. Pajok knows. It was ethno-religious crisis. Now it graduated to another level. Not ethno-religious crisis. Now it is farmers. And later on, it was given the name natives and settlers. Now from natives and settlers, now it is farmers' headsman. From farmers' headsman, now it is Fulani or headsman versus Birom. Tomorrow, if we didn't address it, Mr. Speaker, we don't know the name we are going to give it. Mr. Speaker, in the last 3 years, we debated on Benue, Kaduna, Zamfara, series of time JOS, and until today, just less than a year to the expiration of our tenure, we are yet to find a solution to this problem. Mr. Speaker, forget about what Nigerians are saying. Forget about the blackmail. Forget about the hatred. If this is only what we can achieve in 8th Assembly, Mr. Speaker, we achieve a lot. So at least it's not about dedicating a day just to speak grammar. After speaking grammar, we just forget it the way the other side of government are doing from 2001 when the crisis started until today. We are yet to find a solution to it. We are the representative of the people. Mr. Speaker, if you go to executive today, most likely the minister representing Plateau is not a Birom man. But here we are today. We have a man who is a Birom. We have a man in this very chamber who is representing Bariki-Ladi Riom in this very chamber. We have somebody who is representing JOS North in this chamber. So maybe if there's anybody who have access to information about what is happening in Nigeria, it is this very green chamber. Even if you go to red chambers, the Senate, Mr. Speaker, they have minimal information compared to us. If you are talking of Kano State today, we are 24 in number. So whatever information you want to hear about Kano, Mr. Speaker, today, the 24 of us can tell you. So whatever information you want to gather about Nigeria, I'm sure the 360 of us can give you that very information. So, Mr. Speaker, even if we are to close all other businesses and keep on deliberating on this very issue until we get the root cause, not only JOS, not only Zamfara, not only Birnungwari, Mr. Speaker, the issue of insecurity in Nigeria. So I'm sure if this is only what we can achieve after 4 years, history will never forget us. And will put our name in a golden color. So, Mr. Speaker, I urge all my colleagues to put all sentiment apart, to look at lives, to look at human beings, to look at human life. And whoever has any information, who has any contribution to give with regard to this issue, please, we should fear God. There is life hereafter. Let's forge ahead and find a solution to this problem. That is my take. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.